Black Lives Matter put out a statement on Facebook. The statement says it has been 32 days since we requested a meeting with Joe Biden and is there some weird sound happening right now?
A little bit.
You were a little robot-y for a second.
Me? I became a robot? Okay.
For a
I'm
bit.
hearing I'm hearing some like cars flying by and stuff. All right, so Black Lives Matter put out a statement on their Facebook page December 9th at 2:20 p.m. It said it has been 32 days since we've requested a meeting with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and we've heard no response. And they said on the night of the Biden-Harris victory, Black Lives Matter sent a letter requesting a meeting. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Cedric Richmond met with several civil rights groups yesterday, and we were not invited. Black life cannot wait. Creating thriving conditions for Black communities in the 21st century cannot be put on pause. As the organization leading the largest global social justice movement, we demand a seat at the table. Followed by our guy, Shaun King, Black in Question, wrote in tweets saying, I just listened to the audio from some civil rights leaders from the meeting some civil rights leaders had with Joe Biden this past week. Very disappointing, all caps. First off, he sometimes projected rudeness and irritation. Worse than that, he basically told them that he was not going to do a lot of executive orders. Joe Biden then said that he's basically not going to commit to anything related to policing, police brutality, etc. Not even tiny, slow motion, incremental changes. Then muttered a bunch of randomness about defunding the police, which nobody there asked him about. How does that make you guys feel?
Does Shaun King have facts? Like, is this not a fact?
Oh, I love that question. I love that question because I think Shaun King has he has some people on lock, and I don't think anybody really questions what he has to say. They just kind of go with it. Right. So, what facts are you asking for?
I guess just, I mean, overall, like, is that the truth? Was he in that room? You know what I mean? Like, how is he there?
I think he heard a recording.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I need to hear this information from somebody else for it to be true.
Okay. That's fair. That's super fair. What about the Black Lives Matter statement?
About them waiting? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm glad that there's like a follow-up about it and that they're just like, you promised us, you gave us a list, or like we gave you a list, you need to follow things through, and we're waiting. Like I hope that he doesn't let the things that he says fall by the wayside, obviously, but I am really happy that the Black Lives Matter is like, what's going on? Where are we at? What let's get stuff moving.
Would you not consider it that it's just too early? Like, he just started, and I'm playing devil's advocate right now. This is not my personal opinion, but would you not consider that it's just too early? Like, he's still president-elect. He has no actual authority yet. So, you know, some people have said, just wait until January, February, give him a little time, and then he can call you guys.
I mean, that's fine, but then say that, you know? I think like saying nothing still says something, you know, like come out and be like, you know, I totally hear you guys. We're working on it. Something. Don't just not say anything.
Did you expect this on behalf of the Biden-Harris team?
No, because I feel like they're gonna get shit done. But like, I mean, it is early. It is early. I do agree with like, yeah, it's early. But I think it just needs to be said, like, we see you, we hear you, give us a moment.
Okay. You guys?
Yeah, I think I'm glad, like Carmella said, I'm glad that they're keeping him accountable. I do think there's probably so many people that are trying to get in touch with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Electoral College hasn't even voted yet. I think they vote this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trump is still trying to do whatever he's doing. I don't know. So, good luck. So I mean, I think his top priority, which I don't ever want to, trivialize or minimize Black Lives Matter,
Mhm.
but I think he's forming his cabinet. I think he's meeting with the COVID team, which he formed pretty immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look and there's, Black churches are being defaced over the past week. So I get it. There's emergent things that are need a response, but I'm gonna wait to see. I'm gonna wait before I call him a liar.
Right,
Yet.
exactly. I think too, a part of it is like there was so much relief for people when he did get elected or when he won.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like still riding on those coattails of the relief. Like, okay, you're the president now. What are you gonna do? We are already wanting change and we want it fast. Because like he said, Black churches are still being defaced, things are still happening. And I think we just see it as, okay, he's in the position now, let's start getting things done. But it's not just as quick as, oh yeah, let me sign some papers, and it's not as quick as we think it might be.
Okay. Chris?
Sorry. Sorry, I dropped something. It's such a sensitive subject, you know what I mean? As far as, yeah, he just started and all that, but he was making this promises his entire campaign. So it's like, you should have had something on the board. You should have had something ready. You should have something going, and then I don't know if Homeboy's gonna remember everything because he's kind of he's kind of up there. You know what I mean? He's gonna be like, "What are we talking about?" That's probably what he was mumbling through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if that was your most of your campaign promise, and you're not ready yet, like what are you doing? What's behind the curtain? You know what I mean?
Right.
And it would have said the same thing for any candidate, for anybody who was elected president. Like you have to follow the trail. Read all the information, because what one person promises isn't exactly what they mean. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think they should keep their foot, on the gas and hold him, like I said, hold him accountable.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, there's a pretty big pandemic right now.
I think
So
that's the most important part, though, is holding them accountable, because it's something that we said we were going to do. That we've held Trump accountable for everything he's tried to say. We got to do the same with the other side. So
yeah.
All right. In Joe Biden's victory speech, he said, "The Black people have my back, so I'm going to have theirs."
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think, like I said, going back to that Obama and the folks conversation, where I am very aware that these politicians, they repeat things based on how well things test, right? So a lot of times politicians run off of neutralization of immigrants, and then eventually when they become presidents, immigration falls to the very bottom, because most of the time it's a hot topic to talk around in election time. And then when you actually poll the American people, they're not really all that hot on immigration on like a borderless country. More people are like, no, let's actually be a little bit more conservative about this than they are about being liberal about the topic of immigration. This is why Obama didn't sign deferred action on what was it, child. You guys know what I'm talking about, DACA. until late into his second term, because though it is a popular thing to say when you are running, when it's your turn to actually make it happen, all of the testing results come back to say like, oh, people actually don't really want this, or it's not something that people care about all that much. What I will give Joe Biden credit for is the fact that he actually did meet with some civil rights leaders. The reason why I bring this whole tested thing up is because Black Lives Matter, the organization, doesn't really have a great it doesn't have a great place amongst the people. Most people outside of their supporters think it's some like neo-socialist communist organization. So I think after that moment when Joe Biden was projected the winner by the Associated Press, there was that phone call because the Democrats had such a horrible outcome in the election. There was that phone call that was leaked out that said we need to never ever say the word socialism ever again because it was going to cost them the race this time around. Go back to the Hispanic voters in Florida that left a socialist nation. They came to America and voted for Donald Trump. So they, and they had an ad. Joe Biden had an ad that literally said the word socialism in Spanish. And so they all voted against Joe Biden. So I think after that, after the election, and they realized that most people were kind of turning their nose up to socialism or to communism or whatever you want to call it, he made the conscious choice to say, I will meet with Black leaders that most people like, most people trust. And if he was to just meet with a group of people like Black Lives Matter, who, again, most people feel like their agenda is beyond and above the actual causes of Black lives, they have another agenda on top of that, then it would have made him seem like he was an extremist or a radical or somebody who's all the way left, and people would have just been like, oh, whoa, we made the wrong decision. So I think in his mind it was like, okay, I'm aware that we have these racial issues, racial tensions in the country. I have to be really, really, really wise about who I speak to, at least publicly, to at least showcase to people that I'm trying to make a difference. And I think that was probably smarter on his part. Black Lives Matter may have, been at the helm of most of the protests and most of the things that happened this year. But when you look at their trends, like their social trends, it kind of spiked and then it went all the way down. And then when you do some research about them, more people are scared of the organization than they are a fan of it. So I think that Joe Biden is clearly aware that people have this kind of polarizing view of the organization, and it may not benefit him to partner with an organization that makes people feel uncomfortable. So he might as well just stick with the people that most people either don't know or are not scared of, and he could try to make change in that way. Now, what Shaun King said about there not being any executive orders, anything like that, well, the truth is, what new laws do we need? What executive orders are you searching for? At the end of the day, he's going to come in and there are certain demands that need to be made, but most people don't even know what the executive branch does. Most people don't even know that. So the honest truth is, what is it that you want him to do? Executive orders for what? And I think that his messaging is just confusing more people. I think that there is an element of symbolism that comes with Joe Biden, where Trump, people may have said that he incited violence or he incited this or he incited that, where on the Joe Biden side, he may be quicker, faster, or more vocal to to call out what he considers to be bad, which I think is a different element that he will be bringing to the office. So exactly what is Shaun King looking for? What are his demands? What new laws does he want to Joe Biden to create? What do you want? And how fair is it to trust you because you simply were not the guy who was in the room? We don't even know if you're black still, brother. So, we still need to wait to see if the Carfax comes in to find out, are you Rachel Dolezal or what's happening? So I think at the end of the day, I think Biden made a wise move to just be like, man, don't pick up the phone when these people call, because I trust the civil rights leaders or the activists a little bit more than an organization that is just so, we don't know what it is that they want. I mean, we do, but their website leads us into multiple different ways, and it confuses more people. And at the end of the day, if Joe Biden says that his actions and his presence in the White House is to unify the people, he has to consider the fact that the people are not just black people. He has to unify all of the races into one. So he has to make that choice to speak to the people that most people are comfortable with, and not only a small group of people. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. All right, let's go on break.